Hello. Today I just, I'm going to take you. I heard to turn the camera on and I don't really know why. So I'm just going to, and I was like, okay, what do we talk about? Anything. So instead, we're going to do some, I've been wanting, my mom brought this home for my niece. But I've been looking at it and I just really just wanted to get into it. And it is this craft project, and sometimes to have the freedom to be the child in the scenario, I have to do it before the actual child shows up. So I figured this would be a great example for her to show her it's possible, and I get to have fun. It actually looks really complicated. There's a lot of steps here. But I really want to make this one with the bow. It's really cute, and the tassel. So that's what we're going to do together, and I'm going to see what I feel like chatting about. Let me direct this camera down a little bit. Back her up. Perfect. Like when you've got a mic. I'm curious to see how much battery or footage space my phone actually has. Okay, so the first step is actually really helpful because I feel like following these types of instructions is not. Oh my God. Step one, I see the need for some sort of thread. Okay, B1 is a bead, A3, another bead. Okay, I think I figured out which thread I need. So it's kind of like a match it diagram type of deal. So I'm gonna pull one of these. Maybe they're already cut into the length that you need. So we got this. All right. Today was like a very soft life type day. Like I've been learning as I learn about creativity, building something, doing it in flow and in balance with my authentic rhythm and nature and femininity, like being a woman. I've been unlearning so many layers of beliefs. Like I feel like my whole business for the past 5 years, and I continue to do so, but it really was unlearning, a process of unlearning things and my approach, catching myself when my approach was totally out of alignment. And I'm continuing to learn that, but I'm like so much better at it now. So I'm recognizing when I'm over obsessing about something or just hyper fixated. I get really excited about things, and then I just am like really attached and focused. And I think that also shows up in life, in relationships, in a new idea or vision that comes to me, and like, oh my God, I want it now. You know, you're just so excited for it. So practicing to redirect, recenter, rebalance. And I know that my life is only sustainable when I can also bring in these moments of like laying on the couch under the sunshine because it's been not sunny for like 7 days straight, or having just a slow morning and doing some crafts, things like that. Like this just brings me so much joy. I love beads, I've discovered. So yeah, so this is kind of one of those days, and this week I'm doing this a lot, is really leaning into that like self-care, soft life, because otherwise winter is like the most painful experience ever, because you're just stuck in a space where nothing's really supposed to be happening in the ways that are like fast, you know, to our ego, human, capitalistic standards. Winter's the time for rest, rejuvenation, rooting, going inward and cultivating that inner balance, light, while so much else is happening energetically and spiritually on levels that we don't even need to be too aware of or tapped into. It's happening. So as long as you show up and tend to yourself every day and make choices, moves, redirect your focus in the ways that you know is best and that you're inspired to do so, I think that's a good way to go. Okay, this is very long. Okay, anyways, that's a lot of, oh yeah, because the bow is going to be pretty long. So I think I just like, I don't get it. Sometimes when I talk, my nose dribbles. So I'm sorry, I'm just going to do it. We all do it. We all use our sleeve. Okay. So I got the first one. And then we're going to do some pink beads. There's not that many white beads though. That must be what this is for. So I could technically add in other colors, like stars. So this coming week, we have the new moon on Wednesday. And I love seeing how people, at least through my perspective, I connect the dots, naturally gravitate towards things that work with the moon's energies and the rhythm of how the lunar cycle. We can collaborate with the opportunity it's presenting us, the darkness and the manifestation portal of that empty, dark space. And only in the darkness and the void can you actually create. Kind of like in your womb, it's dark in there. I mean, I don't know what it really looks like, but the idea is that it's like a cave. It's like a dark space, and that's where creation comes from. It can only be birthed from within darkness, kind of like, you know, plants. And obviously you can be like a negative Nancy and be like, wow, this is just like an example. Plants also grow, they start under the soil, and that's where they germinate, and they need that dark space. So that's why the new moon is really a time to let yourself be detached and let go of anything you've been having on your heart to create, and just let it be, so that the energies of that vision can come in even bigger and grander ways than you initially were open to. Because every level that we start to like acclimate to a new vision, we can actually expand on it even more once we acclimate to that energetic frequency of that vision being a possibility. And so it's like, I've noticed in my creative process, I am constantly going back to the drawing board, but it's like almost monthly that I reshift, renew these visions into even more aligned ways, like the details, the finer details of them, but also becoming more at peace with the way that they're going to come into fruition by anchoring into your magician mode and practicing things like being in your receptive state, taking care of yourself, focusing on tending to your body, your energetic body, your emotional body, your physical body. So I don't know. My nose is dribbling. I'm going to do, I'm going to do another white one. Two white. And two white. And I have about maybe like 20 more minutes before they return. I really like the light pink. Light pink is cute. It's I've learned from others that it is a color that is definitely related to the upper heart chakra, the upper heart space. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, what's next? Two more whites. So I guess you just like string it till it's, well, there's no description. And then I'm gonna do two of these other colors. They're like shiny whites. Yay! While you're creating something and bringing a vision to fruition, no matter how far away it may seem, like possibility-wise, because it's hard to do it if, like, we're not supposed to know the how all the way in detail. It's literally like a step-by-step process to manifest and to create. Is the resources that bring this to fruition are all available like right now. It's just, what are you actually, our frequency changes what we experience. So like if you're thinking and vibrating out in the energy of lack or of like nothing ever works out, then you're going to constantly see nothing working out. So it's a good reminder that that is one of the principles of the world we live in, with quantum physics and all that good stuff. And so alternatively, being open to possibilities and not judging them as well, and not necessarily having to jump on every single opportunity that seems to be like bringing you closer to that, you know, vision, but just taking note of them and being open to it is like an amazing step. Because same thing with how the new moon is a time to reset and renew your visions, to approach them in a fresh way. Just because an opportunity comes your way doesn't mean it's the opportunity for you, but it could be like a sign that you're like, it's one step closer to the one that is actually aligned for you and nourishing you and going to be like balanced and giving rather than draining and misaligned. This is so cute. So now we're going to, it doesn't say how many beads to do, but it just shows that you take this, and I think you somehow make it the center of the bow. And I don't know how, but maybe, here, I'll show you. So we're on to the step there. So maybe, you know, this little craft is so much like the creative process of trying to figure out the steps that you're given. So I think I like bead it through here. Yay! Ah. Oh my God. I love my little addition of a like yellowish bead. Okay, so then we add more beads to this ting. So exciting. Okay, I'm going to add, I kind of want to add some pink and then some green. So I'm going to add some pink. Actually, this is so helpful to do this by myself. I don't know if it's just me, but I've experienced kids have like this survival mode. But I mean, I get it. All right, I'm gonna do another pink. Okay, and then green. This might be too heavy. It might feel too heavy. I just love the shiny aspects of beads. Like, they're so sparkly. Look how sparkly that is. And it's very soothing to string onto something. Very soothing. Cute. Okay, I like it. I think I want some like lighter beads at the bottom. Ooh, what's this? I could spell something. Ass. I could spell Christmas. Well, maybe I'll do some of these little ones. I really like this material wire. I think I'm gonna bring this into some ideas, some like creative creations. I like it. I feel like one more thing. They put about 2, 4, 6 beads. I have 2, 4, technically 6, but I think lengthwise I can do whatever, but no. Let's see. That's cute. I feel like one more set of pink. I feel very fortunate that I grew up with a mom that loves crafting things, because I did these things growing up a lot. All right, so she's the one that bought this stuff. Then it looks like I do something with the wire and like loop it back through all of these. This is what we're doing. So I'd love to share this prompt. That's one that I'm thinking about, that I felt drawn to explore for this new moon is, and I think this might be more significant for people who are coming into a winter season, either literally with the season turning gray or just energetically that's what they're feeling like they're in, is how can you create an environment or a setup that is really nourishing and leaning into the softness, the squishiness, the warmth, because that's in those winters, like that's literally all you can, that's literally the only way. I have experienced really winters where I was just so restless because I was detoxing from a very fast-paced, more hustle New York City, living in New York City, and but at the same time it wasn't necessarily getting me anywhere. It was just felt like it was, but what I was really being called to do is to get into a state of rest, in a season of rest, to recalibrate and realign with the nature's rhythms. And every year I have to do that, even if I feel really amped and like resistant. So what if you took the time to create a vision board or journal out, like what's your ideal cozy space, or how do you envision this upcoming season of darkness, to embrace it and to continue being engaged in activities that also maintain your well-being, because we can easily get into too much slowness. Okay, and then you loop it back through here. No. So yeah, that's something I've been thinking about for this coming Wednesday new moon, or if you're just watching this randomly, it could be whenever. This is cute. So then I loop it back up through here. And I have a feeling my niece is going to be coming back soon. So if this ends abruptly for any reason, I hope you have a beautiful day. Okay. And I'm so curious to know what happens with this video, because I feel like I'm lost, at a loss of clarity, but maybe someone will enjoy watching me string beads. Okay. ASMR. I do love watching the most mundane things on YouTube, I will say. Okay, so this, there we go. Oh my God, it's looking so cute. She's gonna be so impressed. I'm just telling you. All right, and then I snip it here. This is so satisfying because I was able to have no issues. I would say if you're ever cutting wire, just be careful because it can sometimes damage your scissors. Okay, so then oh my God! So the next one is going to be our imagination is so powerful. I've been using it a lot lately when I would wake up to, overcast sky. And overcast sky is cute. It's giving you like the same love and affection that a sunny day would. It's really about perspective. And also, if you can, getting outside helps to really refresh that and connect with like the cute, loving vibes that I feel with nature. You might also get that feeling. And the love that is emanating from the season, like love is constantly flowing through to you from the earth, no matter what. Yes, even in natural disasters, the earth is just doing its thing. It's just rebalancing itself. All right. Maybe there's another word instead of disaster, like natural reset, nature's reset. I know I'm speaking very lightly of something that can bring a lot of challenge to the humans, but we're also guests here. Cute, 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 cute. We're getting somewhere. Like, what would it be like if you had someone come over to your house for like a dinner and they just trashed your home? They just came in, maybe they were like wasted already or something, and then they threw up. Actually, I've done this before. No! We were all drinking, I swear. I had my era. Okay, well, still, if this was like something that happened and it just wasn't the vibe, it wasn't a party scene, it wasn't meant to be a party like that, like that, you just, that's just rude. And you wouldn't really want them to come over again because they clearly disrespected your space. It just left you with a mess to deal with. Kind of feels like what humans, many humans, not all of us, but to be so disconnected from our actions and where things are sourcing from and what is happening in order for them to be sourced that way, to be cheaper. And also like where things are being disposed or what happens after. And I'm saying this as I'm doing a craft that has no, like, I try to do minimal things like this because I know I want to make sure that I'm not just doing it and then having it become clutter and all that good stuff. So I know I probably am giving off hypocrite vibes right now, but I also am learning how to make small, thoughtful adjustments while also knowing that there's ways that we can do, even just setting the intention of being more aware of our actions and making slightly different habits and choices. Even that just counts. It's in itself, because it's really about your presence with the earth and that alone, and the presence of like imagining the vision of a reality where all of our capacity with science and the very smart people out there doing things that I am not as drawn towards, ingenuity, can create something, a new way for us to engage in crafts like this that's more regenerative for the planet, you know? The materials we use, the production process, the people that are part of the production, the land where the production is made, the factories. Okay, look at this. I'm obsessed with the pattern I created. Oh my God. Okay, so then the next step is to add a little charm somehow. It seems like the charm can just be like looped in through the middle bead, and then I add a little dingly. All right, I have a feeling I should save the dangly for the child, because I don't know if it's something I want anyways. So instead, I'm gonna add a dangly like this, and a strand of beads like this. So it looks like to do the strand, you just do it's not really clear how they strand this through. Oh, I see, the dangly gets shorter. Okay, when you like loop it through. So we'll do that. We'll do another star. Oh, it's so pretty. The physical things we do can be so healing and therapeutic and symbolic in so many ways, to the aspects of ourselves that we're coming in to love more deeply and accept and heal and embrace. Like being a star, like shining. Like, look at how beautiful this star is. I don't know if it's catching the light. To be seen. What do stars do? They bring hope to people. They inspire people. They bring in wonder. I'm not into that red. They're a source of light. Yet there's so much like shaming around being a star and having the light on you and the attention that happens with a star. Like, you look up at the stars, you look at them, they're being given attention. Okay, I like this. And let's do one pink. So then I somehow loop this through. The middle section. I'm just going to twist it around because it's not really clear how that comes about. So we do, okay, well, this doesn't look right. Do this. And somehow this goes through. You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unwind this. Something about this doesn't look right. My nose. I'm going to try to loop this through again. I'm going to successfully loop this through again. All right. This is how we're going to do it. Create a thread, then you use it to pull through the other side. Yeah. And then actually that creates its own like little charm hang here, which I might just move this